Oops. Okay, no, I remember that. Okay, so BEDMAS, we did the brackets first. We got 6. So brackets, yes. Exponents, no, there aren't any. Division, no. Multiplication, yes. We're really good at seeing that as a multiply now, so we have to do that next. 2 times 6 is 12. And then we do our subtraction. So 8 minus 12 is -4. Okay, so you have to use BEDMAS. If you do the 8 minus 2 first, you would get 6 times 6, which is 36, and that's the one they put there to trick you. Okay? So make sure you use BEDMAS. Is everybody remembering back to BEDMAS? And remember, you'll have this sheet, like you'll have your warm-up sheets. It's open book. Okay? So just kind of try to find a question that's similar. They won't be exactly the same, but it'll have the word BEDMAS that you wrote down, and you'll remember, oh yeah, I have to use BEDMAS for this type of question. Okay? Any questions on how to get that -4? Have to follow the proper order of operations. Okay. What is the value of brackets x divided by 3 all squared if x is 12? So this is another thing we did on the first day, substitution. So that's where we replace x with 12. So it tells us x is 12, and we replace x. Normally we would put brackets around it, but there's already brackets there. Okay, so we replace x with the number 12. After we've done that, we still have to follow BEDMAS. So is there brackets? Yes. Is there anything to do inside of them? Yes. I can do 12 divided by 3, which is 4. Is there an exponent? Yes. So I do the exponent next. And remember, it's 4 times 4, not 4 times 2. That's the trick. 4 times 4 is 16. So it's A. Don't forget to circle your answer. A lot of you do, well, not a lot of you. Sometimes people forget. They get so caught up in getting the answer and they see it there and it's a relief, but you forget to actually circle it. Okay? So make sure you, and I'll remind you that before you hand your midterm in. I'll say make sure you circle all your answers for your notes. Okay, what is a simplified form of this expression? A simplified form of this expression. So this is also back to the first week where you have to collect like terms. So you're going to pick one of your colors. Greg, are you following me? Yep, so X-ending is my first color. And plain number is my second color, or a different kind of underlining, whatever you want. And then we can do the regrouping. 8x minus 3x. Remember, the sign moves with the term. Minus 5 minus 1. And some people can go straight from here to the answer after they've done the underlining. Again, this is a multiple choice question, so you just need to write down the math that helps you to get the answer. Okay? So that's going to give me 5x. Now be careful typing the minus 5 minus 1 into your calculator. We were getting that wrong a lot when we did this on the first time we did it. We're doing too many negative signs. So it's -5 minus 1. Make sure you can do that on your calculator. Okay, -5 minus 1. And if you did do it correctly, you should get -6. Okay? -5 minus 1, -6, so that means D is the answer. Anyone need help getting the -5 minus 1 on their calculator? Ask your... Okay, Kayla, help her out there. That's nice. Okay, which expression is equivalent to 2x, and then brackets beside it, 3x minus 11? So that is, when you see a term in front and then a bracket, it's the distributive property. Okay, the shaking hands. The term in front shakes hands with both terms inside the bracket. So you have to remember back to what 2x times 3x is. 2x times 3x. Yep. 6x, close. So if the 6 is right, but what if you have x times x? Which we do. X times x is x squared. Awesome. Okay? So you have to remember that. X times x, another way to write x times x is x to the power of 2. What would be another way to write x times x times x? X cubed, right. Okay, so you got, that's something we did way back on the second day, so it's hard to remember. But here, so we still have to multiply the 2x by the negative 11. So I didn't put a sign here yet till I knew whether it was positive or negative. So I'm going to do 2 times negative 11, negative 22, and then I've still got the x. Everyone was dropping that x. Okay, don't drop the x. Don't leave your little brother or sister out front there by themselves. They've got to shake hands as well. Okay? So that means it's going to be C. D, what is the solution to the equation? What is the solution to the equation x divided by 3 minus 2 equals 7? Okay, there's 2 ways to do this question, and I'm going to go through both of them. So the first way is to just ignore the answers and solve the equation. So that's back to the end of the first week, where we use reverse BEDMAS to solve our equation. Okay, back to last week. Okay. So we look at our 2 sides, and we see, here's the side with the x, it's only on one side, make it nice. Is there any adding or subtracting being done on the side with x? Yes, Sawyer says. Minus 2, so I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So I've created my 0 pair. X divided by 3 then is left on the left side, and 9 is on the right. Okay? Now how do you undo divided by 3? Times by 3. And remember, you want to make it look like it's timesing by on the top. Because the reason you multiplied it was so 3 divided by 3 is 1, and you're just left with 1x over here. And on this side, you're left with 27. The other way to do it, if you just had a blank and you forgot how to solve the equation, is you can try each of these numbers out. So you could try out 15 going in for x. 15 divided by 3 minus 2, and see if it turns out to be 7. Do you see that? So 15 divided by 3 is 5. 5 minus 2 is not 7, so it can't be that one. Okay? And then you would try 27. 27 divided by 3 minus 2. 27 divided by 3 is 9. 9 minus 2 is 7, so it must be that one. And you'd have to keep trying them until you find the one that works. You see those 2 ways you could do it? So with multiple choice, just because you don't immediately know how to do it, there's other ways you could go. You could work backwards from the answers if you have to. Okay, it's always good to be like, okay, I just know how to do the question and I hope my answer's there, but it's also nice that you have a backup strategy. Okay? Xander, are you with me? Solving equations? Okay, good. Number 6. The perimeter of the rectangle is 88 centimeters squared. What is the value of x? So we've done some like this, but they haven't been multiple choice questions. So this word here is really important. What I'd like everyone to try to do is figure out the perimeter of the square in terms of x first. Okay? So see if you can figure out what the perimeter of the square would be in terms of x and in terms of also the numbers. Some people are count around people. Some people are write them all out people. Doesn't matter which strategy you use. But remember that you have to add up all 4 sides, not just the 2 sides they give you.
Click off the ones you can find, so you don't.
Okay, so I've got about half and half of the people. Half of the people are lining them up, and half of the people are counting around. Okay? So depending on which way you do it, you should get 12 X's. How many people got 12 X's for a perimeter? Okay, no matter which way you did it. Awesome. Now we need, oops, that's weird. Now we need the number part. So now we're going to add up all the plain numbers. 8 and 3 is 11, and 8 more is 19, and 3 more is 22. How many people got 22 for the number? Perfect. So there's the first part of the question. Okay? But that's not the question in this case. Sometimes this is the question, but in this case, it's not just find the perimeter. It tells you the perimeter is 88, which means you can replace P for perimeter with 88. And then this turns into an equation because it says, what is the value of X? Okay? So once you've turned it into an equation, you can solve it to get X by itself. This is the side that has X on it. Okay? So if I'm trying to get this X by itself, what would I first do to both sides of my equation? Yep. Subtract 12. Subtract 22. Perfect. Subtract 22. So there's my 0 pair. So I've still got 12X on this side. And over here I've got 66. Okay? Then?
And you divide both by 12.
Perfect. You divide. So want to get X by itself. It's being multiplied by 12, so you divide. And Kayla, did you figure out what that was? 5.5 centimeters. So then you're like, okay, 5.5. Okay? Everybody okay with that question? So that was pretty complex for multiple choice, but there have been these types of questions before. Everyone got a copy down, so if there's one similar, it could be in the open response, it could be in the multiple choice, so you know how to do it. Okay? Anyone want it up there for a little more time? Very nice, you got it? Okay, good. All right, which of the following fractions is not equivalent to 12 over 20? So for this one, I personally would do cross products. I just see their cross products each time, and if they're equal, then it is, and if they're not, it's not. So I'd probably go 12 over 20 equals 3 over 5, and then see what the cross products are, and see if they're equal or not. So 20 times 3 is 60, 5 times 12 is 60. So this one is, so I can cross it off. You see what I mean? This one is equivalent, so it's not going to be the answer because I'm trying to find the one not equivalent. It's B? Okay, that's good. I don't have to do this for too long, sorry. Okay, so I would do the same thing, cross products, and see if they're the same. Remember my calculator is? Here it is. 20 times 24, 480. 40 times 12, 480. So that one is also equivalent, so it's not the answer. Okay? So I got to go down to the next one. 12 over 20 equals 7 over 15. Cross products. And I would see that 20 times 7 is 140. And 15 times 12 is 180. That's not equivalent, so C has to be the answer because it's asking me which one is not equivalent. Okay? And there's different strategies. You guys could just do, like, what would I have to do to 20 to get 15? Or that's actually a hard one. I would use cross products for that. Okay? Some of you just have number sense and you know that's the one that's not equivalent. Great. Okay? A rocket is fired upward from the ground. So this one has a lot of reading. Again, if you're on a reading question, this is not, I'm not testing your reading, I'm testing math. So if you want me to come and read it to you, please put your hand up. A rocket is fired upward from the ground. The equation below shows the relationship between h, which is the height of the rocket above the ground in meters, and t, which is the time in seconds. So then off to the side, I'm going to rewrite that formula. So because there's two variables, even though the t is in two spots, they have to give me one of the two. They either have to give me height or time. So then I read carefully. Which of the following is the height of the rocket after 4 seconds? 4 seconds is a time. So they're telling me that t is 4 seconds. So that means using this formula, I have to replace t, all the t's I see, with 4. So I'm going to use brackets and replace this t with 4. And then minus 5. Replace the next t with 4, but don't forget that squared there. That's a common mistake. Okay? So now everything, all my work to do, all my math work is on the right side, so it becomes a BEDMAS question. So there's no solving an equation to do, I just want to figure out what the right side is mathematically. So I'm going to ask myself, is there brackets? Yes. 2 of them. Is there anything to do inside of them? No. Is there an exponent? Yes. So I'm going to do that next. So 4 times 4 is 16. Is there, so I'll write up BEDMAS. There was brackets but nothing to do. We did the exponent. Is there dividing? No. Is there multiplying? Yes, in 2 spots. Okay? So if I do them from left to right, I can do them at the same time. So if I start with the 60 times 4 first, I can do that. multiplication, and then I can do the 5 times 16 next. Okay, so I can do the multiplications from left to right, and I get 240 minus 80. Which is 160. And then I look over to the side and hope that 160 is there. And it is, and it's C. So notice how I didn't put units in a therefore statement. That's because this is a multiple choice question. I just want to write down the amount of math that I need in order to get the right answer. Okay? And then if I made a little mistake, the teacher can see, oh, I accidentally added here instead of subtracted, I could still get 1 out of 2 on that question. Okay, so that's why it's good to show your math work. That doesn't have to be a therefore statement in like perfect form. Okay. Number 9. What is the solution to the proportion? Okay, I think everybody can do this one. So try it. A lot of people already have. They're done. That's this week. So now we're getting into more familiar territory. We don't have to reach back as far. So I got, do my x first, 18x equals 360. And then divide by 18. X equals 20. How many people got 20? All right, that's this week's stuff. Okay, so we're good with that. This is yesterday. What is the cost of a portable CD player? This is an old EQAO question. Including 15% tax, and then you got to read the picture. The regular price is $89, but it's 30% off. And there's tax. So this is a multi-step question, okay? So if you remember from yesterday, the first thing you do is the discount. And you make your little whisker. We know 100% goes at the top. It's 30% off, so 30% is less than halfway up from 0. We know the regular price is $89, but we don't know the sale price. Okay? Or we don't know the discount, sorry. So to get the discount, we make our proportion 100 over 30 equals 89 over X. So we get 100X equals 2,670. So I get the answer 26.7, but I've got to think while I'm doing that. What does that answer represent? It represents a discount of money. So it actually represents $26.70. And this is a mistake that a lot of people made yesterday. Then they realized they made the mistake, but you have to remember it. You're not going to have your tutor to point out mistakes today. That $26.70 is how much money you get off. It's not the new price. Okay? It's your discount. So to find your new price, you have to take your $89 original price and subtract off the $26.70. Hey, Mr. Jago, I'm getting there.
Portable CD player.
Yes, I know.
Couldn't you have gotten an example not coming in?
It's EQAO.
Oh,
It's
is
an EQAO question. So we're practicing.
Didn't they have gotten the question not from the?
They could have, couldn't they have? But they're not that creative.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, so if we do that, we're gonna get the sale price. So the sale price is $62.30, but that's without taxes, right? And notice how they have that as one of the answers? Okay, because they want you to go, oh, I got the answer, phew, okay? But that's not the answer. You have to figure out including tax. So make sure you circle or highlight all the important things when you're doing a question so that you don't forget any of them. So now we have to do our next part, which is to figure out how much the tax is so that we can add it on. So 100% of our new price after the discount is $62.30. But there's 15% sales tax, okay? There's 15% sales tax. So we set up our next whisker chart there. Make our proportion. 100 over 15 equals 62.30 over X. And that's going to give us the amount of the taxes. So we get 100x equals 934.5. Divide by 100. And you get x equals 9.345. But this is money we're talking about. So we can only keep 2 decimal places. So we're looking at the 5 to tell us to do what with the 4? Round it up? Yeah. So that means the taxes are $9.35. So now we have to take our sale price and our taxes and add them together, and that's going to give us one of these answers. So our 62.30, add on our 9.35, and that gives us 71.65. It was A. Okay? So there was a lot of work to get to that question. We had, and the biggest mistake people make, well, one of them was as soon as they find the sale price, they see it over here, so they circle it, they forget about the taxes. And the other one is forgetting to subtract, or using the 26.70 as the new price rather than subtracting it from 89 to get the new price. Okay, I think I'll stop there for now, and we will finish this last one.